two-year conference that's calling for impeachment here.
No, that's a big threshold to cross, I would say to them. That don't be. Yes, it's probably wrong for the president not to come to Congress, but let's just change that.
What a disgrace for Democrats. They got Nancy up here all doped up and drunk off that sparkling water. I tell you, man, what a disgrace. And then look, the impeachment just fails miserably. I mean, Trump has just broke the Democrat Party. It's just all, whew, you just can't make this up. And we just gonna keep winning. We just gonna keep winning.
Let's see. On this vote, the yeas are 344, the nays are 79. The motion is adopted. Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid upon the table. Pursuant to Clause 8 of Rule 20, the unfinished business is the vote on ordering the previous question on House Resolution 530, on which the yeas and nays are ordered. The clerk will report the title of the resolution.
House Calendar number 34.
As Mr. Burchett from Tennessee.
Thank you, Chair Lady. I would remind members of both sides of the aisle that President Trump's approval rating is soaring, and last I checked, congressional approval is not, and I think that bears witness. Mr. Dickerson and Mr. Burton, do you think Congress should withdraw additional funds other than the $9 billion recently approved by the House?
Absolutely. The federal budget is entirely out of control. There are hundreds of billions of dollars of improper payments. There are tremendous numbers of agents.
Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Hey. Why this beat so cold?
We will make America proud again. When you try to kill our we will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
I just wonder what's in Nancy's system this morning. What is in that system? They got a shut up on that Adderall and that tequila look like up here, you know? But, it just gets worse and worse for the Democrat Party as we take win after win after win, you know, and all we got to see is a tweet at 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. Nobody knew nothing. They said they called Chuck, though. They said Chuck was in there still trying to figure out if he could put the burger on the grill. You know, he was in there. He damn near burnt the house down when they called him, and they said, Chuck, we finna drop these bombs right now. Nobody knows, but they finna drop, Chuck. We reaching out to some of y'all. We tried calling that fella with the Diddy oil. He come out there with that Diddy oil. Where he at? Let me pull him up. He come out there with that Diddy oil on his forehead, but they say he didn't want to answer the phone, you know. But, you know, just imagine if we did get congressional approval, you know, I tell you. But Trump been talking about the nuclear weapon, the nuclear program, just repeating himself, you know. But we actually have a president. We actually have a president who says what he's going to do and does what he says and actually has balls. You know, everybody else just talked. President Trump's about action. And we got a tweet at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. And the fake news, the media, the enemy of the people just can't get it right. Democrats, liberals, activists just can't get it right. You know. Look what this scum said. Look.
Donald Trump and his actions, which do not appear to be consistent with the United States Constitution.
It's the same sound bites, the same stuff. It never changes. The same script. The same script.
Takes unilateral offensive military action without seeking the approval of the United States Congress.
And Jasmine Crockett says, Trump was supposed to holler at me. Holler at me. You know, And then Trump, then AOC is called for his impeachment. Trump says AOC, Ilhan Omar and Jasmine Crockett are stupid and have low IQs. And they ought to just be removed from Congress and walked out, you know. There's a whole bunch of them ought to be walked out, you know. Investigated, audited, thrown in handcuffs, in my opinion.
The use of military force, which is offensive in nature,
Here we go.
must be approved by the House and the Senate. That's according to the Constitution.
The Constitution.
It's not optional, Donald. It's not. The framers.
Yeah, and then they let Obama and then what's the name just, you know, let bombs all over the place. They, you know, but when it comes to Trump, you know, I tell you, these people here, boy. But this is why their party's where it's at, right? Where it's at.
Of the Constitution actually gave Congress the power to declare war for a reason. So the American people, through their elected representatives, would have the opportunity to debate the issue and make some decisions as it relates to what's in the best interest and the national security of the American people.
He sounds the same I'm saying like a robot, like a programmed AI robot. He sounds the exact same every single time.
Donald Trump and the administration chose to ignore the Constitution.
And then he's up here lying.
And so they're going to have to come before Congress and explain their justification for an offensive military strike against Iran.
You know it's bad when even Nancy Pelosi can't even get on board with impeaching Trump. Look, and she up here off. I think they got a shot of too much tequila or something. I don't know. She didn't look like she didn't mix both the clear and the dark.
Your conference that's calling for impeachment here.
No, that's a big threshold to cross, I would say to them. That don't be. Yes, it's probably wrong.
Nancy up here shaking. No. Trump doesn't need to be impeached. No. Let's just stop. Let's not even go there. Let's not even waste time. And you got Al Green. Just and then it failed miserably. I mean, it was what 344 to 79. I tell you, he up there waving his pimp cane, the pimp caveman, wasting everybody's time, man. Pathetic.
For the president not to come to Congress, but let's just change that.
You see, because Nancy Pelosi knows, they ought to put her in handcuffs. She should have been put in handcuffs a long time ago. I'm just saying. As Nancy Pelosi has reached over $413 million in net worth. She made like $42 million trading in 2024. Banned congressional stock trading. These people should be able to trade stocks and companies. They're still in regulating. That's ridiculous. They should have put her in handcuffs a long time ago. I ain't lying.
Because it's a diversionary tactic.
Understood. So we can pull.
And you got never seen footage of the video that proves that J6 was a plan by the Democrats.
This card out. When he's going to finish this card, we can pull it out for Q&A.
Okay. And then we can't say we will impeach him. We can say we'll call for it. We don't know because we don't have all the blue dogs with us on this subject. So let's look at the words. Okay, what else you got?
They tried everything they could with President Trump, and look where we are right now in 2025. Man, I got chills right now.
Okay, so just finishing.
And I would just say, and to declare every day at the Capitol a national security event. You understand what I'm saying?
That's good.
What a mess. Did you have any confidence in this? I mean, son, what do you think then?
I think that it was the plan that they briefed on with the number of stakeholders that have signed off on it. We had some anxiety just about the presence.
Don't you talk about it before today?
He was not our first choice before today. No. We've always been skeptical. Always been skeptical of some. He's terrible relationships with the union. He's particularly been, I think, not great handling the coronavirus pandemic with the workforce. He has done some good things well. He's hired well at the sort of third tier rank. He's done some things on the operational side. But he's not a strong leader. He's not a strong leader.
Well, let me say this with the failure of leadership at the top of the Capitol Police, and that's why I'm calling for the resignation. So let's soften it for them, and then do the failure of leadership at the top. And then,
what a disgrace.
You know, I understand that, but he wasn't going before the inauguration, is that correct?
Only as a favor to us.
I don't care. I'm just talking about what is this?
Yeah,
what is
we're just going
inauguration?
to stay through February. Until we found a replacement.
But was he just incapable? I mean, he's a Secret Service guy.
He, in our conversation with him immediately preceding this meeting, was very transparent about what he thought of the mistakes that he may order.
Some of the dirtiest scums on earth, man. I ain't lying to you. You know, I ain't lying. In the final year of Barack Obama's presidency, 26 and 172,000 bombs were dropped. Syria, Iraq, Libya, Yemen, Somalia, Pakistan, all without congressional approval. Man. Did you call for Obama's impeachment?
12,095 times. The countries that Obama bombed in his final year of office. Syria, 12,192 times. 95 times. 14 times. And Pakistan 3 times. Bombs for a total of 3 bombs every hour of every day. 26,172 bombs for a total of 3 bombs every hour of every day in only 1 year.
No congressional approval. No, you just can't make this up, man. But even Nancy knows. Even Nancy knows. And it just gets worse and worse and worse for Democrats. And this is why you see so many Americans right now on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Everybody's saying, man, you know, people are even saying, I didn't vote for Trump, but I think I should have. You know, the Democrat Party is just getting worse. You see Democrats coming out and saying, or they either walk away or say the party's left them, or it's went too far left, or they're just saying I'm done with the party, or saying we see what's going on with the Democrat Party now, and all they do is blame Trump. It's just Trump, 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 Trump. They have no message. They have no winning message. They have no changes, nothing. Transmission shot, motor shot in the ditch. And Nancy Pelosi up here shaking off that yak tequila, clear in the dark. A couple too many mimosas and screwdrivers. She knows. She knows. But let me know what y'all think of this, man. I love y'all. You know, we wishing the best in everybody's life. You know, and you just can't make this stuff up, man. You just can't. I want to play this clip. I
now recognize Mr. Burchett from Tennessee.
Thank you, Chair Lady. I would remind members of both sides of the aisle that that President Trump's approval rating is soaring, and last I checked, congressional approval is not, and I think that bears witness. Mr. Dickerson and Mr. Burton, do you think Congress should withdraw additional funds other than the $9 billion recently approved by the House?
Absolutely. The federal budget is entirely out of control. There are hundreds of billions of dollars of improper payments. There are tremendous numbers of agencies.
Just can't make it up. Unbelievable. Let me know what y'all think, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace and love, family.